Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Inside Electronics. So in today's episode, let's take a look at what's inside an Iball webcam. Now this thing is a broken one, this thing no longer works. So it is a USB based webcam, you can see, and I think this thing was around 500 rupees or something. I don't know whether this particular model is available any longer. This thing is also from my attic. You can see all the dust that is collected over the years. So and I think I have already taken this apart when I actually got it. This thing is really old, in fact, because there is no screws here that indicates I have already taken this apart before even before even I made this channel, I think. So let's open it and see what's inside an Iball USB webcam. So this thing has no action happening. I mean, is there a switch or something? I'm not seeing any switch or something. Right there is a hole right here, so you can basically see what's going to be inside. And this hole, I'm not seeing any kind of USB port option or anything through that. So maybe it's for something else. And that's the camera right there. So it's a VGA camera. It's a 640 by 480 VGA resolution. Has a switch right there. You can focus on it. Switch right there and status LED. So if you plug this in, let me plug this in with power bank. So I'm going to plug this into a power bank and show you that this thing, nothing is happening. See, the power bank is not even turning on, which means this thing is not drawing any current at all. So it's basically a dead thing. Let me try another power bank. I've already tried it, but still the power bank is on and nothing is happening this side. So anyways, let's take this thing apart. Because there is no screws, I believe I can just take this out easy as that. And that right there is a hole for something else, which we will find out when we open this thing. Okay, there it comes. And oh, this thing turns. I'm thinking that because it has these grips, I'm thinking this has to do something with the focusing. I don't know. Let's take a look and see what it is actually doing. Okay, so there's the button that was up here, and there are two screws that I'm seeing that needs to be taken down. Obviously there is nothing on the bottom side, you can see that. And that, okay, that actually I can use my existing screwdriver for it. That's a good thing because I don't need to get my other screwdriver for it. I'm going to pause and I'll be back once I take the screws out. Okay, so now I've taken out the screws, and it's just now that I noticed that it has 6 wires coming from the USB cable. See, there is one. Let me focus on it. There is a green wire, there is a red wire, and 2 black and another white. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, not 6 but 5 wires coming. I don't know. Usually the data minus, and okay, so that is what's inside it. And that's the lens. There it is. It mentions itself as, yep, it is. It has to be a polarizer, and that particular thing that you see right there, that has to be a polarizer right there. So it filters out the UV. See that right there. So maybe it is a polarizer for infrared or UV lights, and behind that is the tiny lens that you can see through that. So this thing is actually used for focusing light onto the sensor, which this is where the action is happening. See that lens, see that assembly right there. Let me focus on it. That is the best of what my camera can focus. If I turn off, can you see anything if I turn the lights off? And that is it. That is what is inside your webcam. I mean, that sensor right there that looks really good. See that sensor over there? Let me see if I can attach a zoom lens to it. I mean, not zoom lens, like a macro lens to it. Believe if you can see that if I attach it properly, not in a weird way. If I can focus on that by any means, let me put this onto autofocus and see if I can focus on that. Where is the chip? Where is the chip? That is the chip right there. So yeah, there it is. You can now clearly see the chip, the die right there. See that? So that is the image sensor. That is where your photons, the light photons, will get converted to electrons. So that has to be made with a very photosensitive material, so it will actually collect a lot of light that is falling onto it, and then the rest of the circuit will be just to analyze those photons and to get the image from it. And being this has a protective glass kind of thing on top of it. I mean, if I just want to show you guys that I really badly need to show you. Let me turn this thing off, turn this light off, and I'm going to focus on that using this lens right here. So if I can show you that for any, yeah, there it is. You can somewhat make out the chip assembly right there. You can somewhat make out the chip assembly right there. See that? See, that's the active element array right there. That's the 640 by 480 pixel resolution sensor. So, and this chip being the only chip that is in this board has to do everything with the image processing and the USB conversion and everything. And this is a Pro VD1. The model here is a Pro VD1 model. So let me see if I can find any datasheet for this particular. And there is another chip right here, CCRH. So this has to be a 3.3 volt regulator. Yes, it is. So let me see if I can find any datasheet for it, and I'll be back if I can find any. And there is no information available for that particular chip right there. In fact, if you search for the part number right there, you are getting the drivers, the Windows drivers for USB cameras. In fact, a lot of cameras are using the same chip right there. In fact, like HP and this Iball and a lot of other companies are using this SNR110AR chip for their cameras. So there is no datasheet available for it, so I cannot. All I can do, or all we can guess, is that is an all-in-one chip that does all the DSP and the USB conversion and everything else. And also this particular thing right here is also a proprietary part. There is no information available for this thing also. And yeah, that's what's inside an Iball USB webcam. And it's really interesting that it does not have a microphone. Usually webcams will have a microphone input also, but this thing is not having. There is an option for microphone. You can see the hole there. See that hole? That is for the microphone, but this thing is not populated. This thing has no microphone in it at all. So anyways, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.